Right. Just a quick one. A quick one. To do with somebody called what's the fool's name? I'll look it up. His name is somebody called debt collector. Okay? Debt collectors. Now, another fool. Right. A quick one to show how you deal with a debt collector. Ladies and gentlemen, little boys and girls, you can F off and go and suck on one. Right. How do you deal with a debt collector? I don't have the original because I did this for someone a couple of days ago. And they still have to come and collect it. Fucking it. Shit. Right. So this is what you do with a debt collector. I should show the other one where what they sent, what this is in response to. But in any case, somebody received a letter from a debt collector saying that a bank called Santander wants, I think, £1,000 or something like that in debt. So the debt collector is called Robinson Way Debt Collectors, and the other ones who wrote to this somebody we know. And this is our response. So this is how you deal with debt collectors. Remember, there's a difference between the debt collector has got different powers to a bailiff who has different powers to a high court enforcement officer, for instance. So this is the lowest of the low. A debt collector is not even a bailiff, right? In any case, the debt collector wrote to these people and say, yep, give us some money. And it's a usual bullshit, so I won't go through the details. I'm just going to show you how to deal with a debt collector in one swoop. Go in there. This is a template. So the debt collector did not put their name, so there is no identifiable agent, but they call themselves a contact manager. So whereas that's bullshit, we won't get into that bullshit. We'll just deal with the instrument which was sent. Right, so that's their location. The account number, you put it down there. If you have any references, put them down there as well. All right, so these are some of the references for this particular case. Right, once you have those, you do this notice. It's only 3 points that you need for a debt collector. So you don't get emotional like a little bitch, you see, and you don't call people up in the evening crying and moaning like a little girl. You see, what you do is respond to all the issues that they've raised in their document. So this is what we did. They only had 3 issues in their document. So issue number 1, they're talking about a debt of some nonsense, but we don't get into that. So what it reads is this. Number 1, you get a heading to it. In this particular case, it's to do with data protection, because the DPA have new rules now. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what a DPA is. The stupid little boys and girls and the monkey people, you know what I'm talking about. So you can go get in your knees and suck the thing, you know? So fuck off from here, right? Now, when you're responding to this, what you do is this. Acknowledgement is here given of your letter of, this is when they wrote. So you just put in the date of their correspondence, right? And then because you're a living being, and you're not dead, as far as DPA is concerned, you have something called a right to correction. So this is it. You're going to make some things, you're going to correct some issues. This is all you're doing with this document. So a debt collector writes to you, right? You know there's something called the Data Protection Act. An act is an act. It's not law, it's statutes, right? Now, the act says that you, the living, or even in your capacity as a corporation, you still have a right to correct information that is held by any third party that is incorrect. So when you receive correspondence from a debt collector, number 1, You never gave them authority to process or maintain or control your private or personal data or information. So they're going to call you a subject. Then the subject has a right to correction. All right? So this is all you're doing with this document, 3 points. So number one, you acknowledge their letter. Sometimes you can say copy attached, and then you attach a copy to it, so there is no mistake what you're referring to, and give them orders. In line with data protection principles, please now make the corrections on list below of the records that you process, keep, retain, maintain, or control. That's all you need to do. Number one, there is no acknowledgement of any such alleged debt, as is on reference above. So that's this references here. The Santander account, number whatever, and the references. So you're letting them know that you don't acknowledge. It's about acknowledgement. You don't acknowledge or recognize this supposed debt. Understand? That's number one. So there's no acknowledgement. Because we won't go into syntaxing, but a debt has very specific definition. So if they want to get into it, but they won't, at this level, debt collectors don't bother people too much with this stuff. Debt collectors, they write to you, and that's about as much they're going to do. They won't come to your house unless you ignore this thing entirely. I don't know, but the debt collectors don't bother people. Number two, no corporation of the name Mrs. whatever in all capitals exists at this location. Right? There is no Mrs. there. There's no nom de guerre. Civilitaire mortus doesn't exist at this location, and no such corporate entity is assignable by your statutes upon any living soul at this location. And number three, finally, this notification constitutes express written denial of consent, because you have to consent for your personal details to be held by these corporations. That's why they ask for a signature everywhere you go, the data protection section of it, right? So let these fools know that you're expressing in writing your denial of consent for them to keep or to maintain or to control or to release or to share or to sell any of your personal information, right? And derivatives. So the derivatives are, for instance, when they put your name in all caps. Sometimes they do all caps only on the surname. Sometimes they do it proper case with a Mr. in front of it. All these are derivations of your original name. So you're letting them know, I don't agree, consent for you to maintain or control or to have any association or any dealings with that name. By Robinson Way Debt Collectors, you put the name in there, and this notification is in accordance with Articles 12 and 15 of the General Data Protection Regulations. That's a European bullshit stuff, but it binds them. All right? So those 3 points only. And more importantly, please acknowledge receipt of this notification when you get it. You dickhead. All right? So the customer contact manager asshole. That dickhead. Number one, so you need to acknowledge that and then give us due notice when you've made such corrections. Right? That's in accordance with DPA, because if I don't receive notification that you've made corrections, I'm going to assume that you're breaching DPA and I can sue you for it. You see? So give us notice when you've corrected your records. And make no further contact by letter or telephone, because what they said was that if these people did not get in touch with them, they're going to keep writing to them and calling them on the phone. So I'm letting you know, correct your records, remove my personal details from your records, give me notice that you've done that, and make no further contact by letter or telephone. That's it. One pager. How easy is that? Bam. And here we are. We have grown folk, dickheads, assholes, reprobates, scared, fearful morons fucking around with us over this shit. Debt collectors and bailiffs. Grown men crying over bailiffs. Are you stupid? Are you fucking stupid? You dickhead. So don't call me again over this bullshit if you know you have no courage to send a letter out or to deal with a debt collector or a bailiff, you fool. I mean, how many times do I have to tell you this shit? So that's how you deal with a debt collector. Flipping three fucking lines, man. 3 fucking lines. Where the hell is it? Where is it? Here. Where are we? Here. 3. Right? Number 1. There is no acknowledgement of this debt that you claim. Unless you can verify it. Unless you can verify the fucking debt. It doesn't exist. Number 2. There's no corporation here called a civilian or a mister. You have your facts wrong. Okay? There is no mister here. And number 3, this is official notification that I give you no consent to process my personal information because you're a debt collector. I don't know who you are. That's it. End of story. What else is there? ABC. Grown folks. Anywho. Right. Yeah, I'm going to get back to what I was doing. That's a quick one for debt collectors. So whoever it is that needs to come and collect this letter for themselves, you know who you are. You give me a work to do for you. Come and get your letter because I'm not going to bring it to you. I'm not going to bother with these fucking niggas anymore. Fuck y'all. Alright? So take it to Black on your fucking monkey ass. Kiss my ass.